Okay, second attempt. I just made a whole video and realised it was out of focus. Okay, let me explain to you what I've been up to. Right, we all know our glow plug goes in the top, comes down there, and that's on its own cycle, controlled by the motherboard. Yeah, and so once it's finished its cycle, it's off and doesn't do anything else for the rest of its time until you come to shut it down. Now, I've watched quite a few guys' videos and they're running on old oil or anything like that, and it's inside the bottom is always coked up, yeah, or oiled up like you can't believe. So what I done a while back was drill and tap and put a thread right in the bottom. If you want to come out. So the actual glow plug is a 10mm. Yeah. So you need, let me show you. It goes all the way straight through to the centre of the burn chamber. If you look at it like that, yeah, it's smack bang in the middle. And what I use that for is, as soon as I hear the pump start ticking, yeah, I then manually switch my glow plug on, which has been on an adjustable timer. This little titchy thing here from China, £6.50 worth of poo, but it has worked. It's worked for a month. Yeah, it has worked for a month. I give it that. And let me just show you how it works. I've got a bulb here. There you go. You can see the little thing lights up. Oh, let me adjust the time switch to make it short. So we're not here all day. Right, down a bit. There we go. Okay. Right, let's try again. Okay, as you can see, it is working. Yeah, I had doubts if it was working the other day because I wasn't getting up my normal boost of, I can hear it fire up. So I thought, oh, what's wrong there? And I could hear this buzzing away, so that's just timed out and switched off. So I could hear this relay again, making a right sicko noise. So I unsoldered it and fitted a new one, which is absolutely identical to the one on the motherboard. Yeah, it's rated the same. It's rated at 20 amps, which is on the 2022-2023 motherboard. Yep. So replace that, hoping to fix the job, and well, you can clearly see it's still working, yeah, because it lights up a light bulb, but it won't light up a glow plug, which, if you measured a glow plug, is a dead short, obviously, just like an electric bar fire. Where's the other one? There we are. Okay, clear. Zeros. I hope you can see that. That's 0, 0, 0. Yeah, the glow plug is a dead short. So this little thing here, I don't think it's bad enough for the job. Yeah, that'll be alright. Been alright for a month, but its days are over. So I got a higher rated one that arrived today, and this is 30 amp instead of 20 amp. It's all written in Tong Tiddly Po. You can barely make out. Oh, there is at least a plus and a minus on there. A plus and a minus there. So power goes in here, gonna come out there and light up the glow plug. And this bit must be for the switching that I want to do. Yeah, so I can actually do a manual override. Right, I've also been dealing with, because now it's running really well, it runs into an overheat issue. Yeah, I do have a thermocouple that's actually in the middle of the burn chamber, and on startup, it's going crazy. It's going over 1000°C. Yeah, which makes absolutely no sense to me. I can't see how the thermocouple can be 1000°C when the aluminium casing around the outside melts at 600°C. It should be a big blob on the floor, the whole thing. So I don't really have much faith in that thermocouple at the moment. But it is causing, because there is so much more energy in motor oil compared to diesel. Yeah, you see an instant spike once you switch it. Yeah, once you switch it, boom, you see the temperature really start rocketing up. So, say for instance, you're on number 1 setting, it's ticking over at 160 degrees. Yeah, bring the oil on the number 1 setting, and you see it coming up. Yeah, bit by bit by bit, and you think, what? Where's that going? And it's going up to 240. Yeah. And of course, once you get to around about 240, these things have a sensor in the top. Yeah. Let me see if I can find one. Oh, no, I'll take that off of there. This little sensor at the top. Yeah. Okay, this little sensor at the top is a 5-volt one. Yeah. And I really don't know what the actual shut-off point is. Okay, that I got that round the right way. Yeah. Okay, I've labelled it there so you can see it. The left-hand side one, as you're looking at it, is the live. And so to increase my heat range, I needed to put a resistor in the return line. Why is that? Oh, it's on a magnet, that's why it's all stuck together. So it's... Go away. Right. So the signal coming out, I don't want to disrupt that, but I do want to disrupt the return to the motherboard so it doesn't go into overheat shutdown stage. The idea of the overheat shutdown is, say for instance you are running this in a camper van or something like that, and your kid goes up and wants to dry out Teddy and sticks him up the front. It has to have the ability to go, whoa, yeah, this heat is not coming out anymore, I need to shut down. So that's what that little heat sensor is all about. Yeah, you've got to have it. Without it, it's bloody dangerous. But for my purposes at this precise moment, it's cutting out too early. Yeah, well, I'm reaching an outside burn chamber of on the heat exchanger around the 260. Yeah, on a number 1 setting. Yeah, which is pretty high. So what I've done is, obviously, I've changed. Let me get some few of them out and I'll show you the difference. Okay. This is a normal resistor, this one here. Yeah. If you measure it, you can measure it that way. Yep. That's 1K. You can measure it. It's bidirectional. It doesn't matter which way you put it up. It is still 1K. Yeah. But then you've got the Zener diodes, which are like, imagine electricity like water. Yeah. This is a non-return valve. Yeah. You see the little grey stripe on there? That gives you an idea which way round. So let me show you how to do it wrong. Right. I'm putting the live to where the grey end is, and I get nothing. Put it the right way round, so the live coming from the heading towards the grey. Yep. and there I have me 6. So was that 6? That was 6, wasn't it? 6. And let's check that one again. And that's 1. So I've put a 1k in there. Yeah. The idea of putting a 1k in there, I've just tested it again on the board. So I run it up to normal operating temperature. Then I've done a shutdown cycle. And on the shutdown cycle, the fans run for as long as what the heat sensor is telling the motherboard what the temperature of the exchanger is, yeah? So my fans used to cut out 80C, yeah? And the fans would just completely switch off. So by putting a 1k resistor in, like that, I have now, the fans will run right down to 40C. So that extra 40C is on the bottom end, it's also on the top end. Yeah, so I've gone from, I will have the ability to run hotter than 250, 260 by at least 40C, because it's on the top end now. Yeah, it's working both ways, top and bottom. Okay, right, what else can I explain to you that I haven't shown you? Right, we've done what the heat sensor does. Right, yeah, explain that. Okay, your pumps. When you look at your pump, you can see it's got a little hump on it there, yeah? With a little hump on it there, if you had it facing you, the terminal on the right is your live, yeah? You can do what you want with that. You can put that on a switch. You can piggyback it off and piggyback it to another pump, yeah? And it will work. And you can switch it on and off, no problem. You can't do it with the earth circuit. If you switch the earth circuit, it will instantly register on the motherboard as, I have a problem, the pump just died or something. Yeah? It's not like your car, for instance, where everything has 3 circuits. Say like this here, it's a pressure sensor. Yeah, it's an aircon pressure sensor. And it has, so the outside ones are what it's trying to read out. Okay, there we are there. But the middle one is the one that sends a signal back to the ECU or the motherboard to say, yeah, I'm here, I'm working, I'm reading, I'm fine. Yeah, because like when you start your heater up, it does a quick fan fart, yeah, that checks that, then it goes and checks to make sure the heat sensor's there. That's why you see the little heat sensor light up on your dashboard, yeah. It does all these preliminary checks before it even tries to start up. But you couldn't have that system on your car, because you wouldn't want to turn the key and all of a sudden all your headlamps come on, your wipers are going away, the alarm's going off. Yeah, so cars always use a CAN bus system. Yep, a CAN bus system. So they go and check everything for you, so you haven't got to do it. Yeah, but it doesn't put things in motion. Yeah, it doesn't put your wipers on. It doesn't make your hazards flash and what have you. It's already done the test because it's using a 3-pin. These little cheap diesel heaters only have a live and an earth, and the only way they can get a signal back to the motherboard is through the earth. So if you're going to run a pump, don't switch the earth circuit, switch the live circuit. Yeah. So like on mine, I got another pump. I'm running 2 pumps at the same time. The pump they both work fine. You can feel it in the pulse fine, but sometimes you get the odd palpitation, and you hear one pump go and picks up again, and that's because the RPM sensor, which is here, yeah, the RPM sensor, as the fan goes round, So the fan's going round, it's reading the speed of the fan, and it's also sending a signal to this to say, okay, fan's still turning, you can pump, you can pump, you can pump, you can pump. You suddenly add 2 pumps to that, and you've got a higher resistance. So the motherboard's trying to work out what's wrong with that bloody pump. Why is the resistance different? Yeah? But it can cope with that confusion. It deals with it. And you actually don't mind the odd misfiring pump, because at least you're not choking it up with shit. Which is the last thing you want. You don't want to keep stripping them down. They drive you nuts. Right, what else can I show you? I've showed you this, this is going to be my new glow plug starting. So I've showed you that's a dead short. What else can I show you? Let me think. Okay, when you're looking at your fan, this is your fan here. Yeah. Now, if you want to break into your fan circuit, you can. Yeah. So it isn't actually labelled red and black, which is quite helpful. You can piggyback off those wires and run your own potentiometer that has its own feed to it, which is what I've done. That's how I've managed to break into the system, yeah, and to be able to run the fan independently, yeah, and the glow plug independently, obviously, because that's a completely different circuit. But even just jumping off those 2 wires, taking 2 signals off that, it sends nothing, hardly anything back through the board here. Hardly anything back at all. The only time it will do that is, say, for instance, you've got it on a number 1 setting and you turn your potentiometer up to, say, a number 4 or 5. It can't work that out. It goes, what's going on? This is mad, yeah? And all of a sudden it will flash up fan error. Say, isolate the hive, reset it, job done. But with the potentiometer, with your fan on there, you have the ability to extend your cooldown and extend the time you've got fresh air blowing through this gauze at the back here, yeah? So with my supercharger and a separate fan feed, I can have that running. It doesn't matter. I'll run it for 20 minutes. Doesn't make any bleeding difference. Yeah, makes no difference whatsoever after it's done its shutdown cycle, because I can keep that on for 20 minutes. I can keep recycling my glow plug, and that's why I end up with a perfectly clean chamber that has nothing. There is nothing in there. Yeah, I mean that's running cleaner than the old bloody central heating. That is super clean. So it can be done. You need a bit of patience. You don't need to know anything. So, this side of it is 12 volt. This side of it is 5 volt. So what goes up to your switch is 5 volt. These are not like the previous version where you can actually adjust things. But with my, like I said, when I break into the fan circuit, with the potentiometer, I can change it to 1.5. Yeah, so that could just slightly increase the fan, but it doesn't actually increase the pump. The pump doesn't. It does follow, but it's late in following. It's like trying to drag a dog for a walk that don't want to go. Yeah, the pump does come with it, but it takes a while. So you can use a potentiometer to trim your CO at the back end. Yeah, so whether that's setting 1, I've got a voltmeter on my heater, so I can see setting 1 is showing 3.5 volts. I can then, with my potentiometer, bring it up to 4 volts, boom, and it's cleaned. So it's the same as the old system where you could actually calculate your pump and your fan speed. You now have that ability to do that again. It does work. It doesn't. Like I said, as long as you don't abuse it and put it on number 1 setting, then give 12 volts to the fan, because these, when they're running flat out, they're only sending 7 volts out of here to your fan, to a 12 volt fan. So on mine, yeah, I mean, it's getting a good 11 volts for as long as they're bloody well run. And it keeps itself clean. Right, I think I'm done. Anything else? Let me think. Explain that to you. Explained the one-way valve of electronics. Explain the CAN bus system. I can show you this. Right, because I'm still pondering over this overheat sensor problem, yeah? So, I've already fitted one of these, but on top of the fan, on the body here, say, here's the body, I'm going to cut a whacking great hole in the top, yeah? I'm going to cut a whacking great hole in the top, right over the top of the sensor. I'm going to have that fan sucking inwards, down, yeah? So if I see it getting hot, the temperatures are rising, I can suck some more air in there. This end will then pick it up as it goes past the other side, yeah? So none of the heat's going to come out the top. It'll all come, I'm pushing the heat back down the bottom and have this fan scavenge it and drag it out the end. So hopefully I can overcome my overheat problem. And yes, I am going to put this on a switch and a potentiometer that I have got somewhere. Where are you? That's a basic potentiometer like that. Just stick that in the side, have a little knob on it. But I did have a nicer one than that. Oh, there it is. Okay. Where is it? It's got a little mini PCB. So I can mount that, find the space underneath where there is enough room between. Obviously, if I bolt that on the bottom, I don't want it whacking on the fan, and I don't want it hitting on the motherboard. So there must be a place somewhere. I'll put that there. Have a little on-off switch on the top. Yep. So it can be sticking out the top. That goes on there. That goes on there. I now have a cool heat exchanger that's not going to cook itself. Alright. I think that's enough. Any questions, though, just chuck a comment over it, and I do get round to reading them. It takes me a while sometimes, but I do. And if I do respond to them, sometimes it's easier just to make a blanket video that covers all these little bits and bobs. Okay, bye for now.